Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more.
Peace, everyone. It's girl Sequoia Blue. Today on the show we have Ricco from Riccowineadventures. What's up, Ricco?
Hey, how you doing, Sequoia? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, doing well. I'm blessed. And how your favorite? So, basically, I found Ricco on Instagram, and he has various videos on wine tastings, and he explains the wines, and he's just having wine adventures, just like his business. And I'm a wine connoisseur myself, so I was really intrigued with what he's doing, and I said I have to have him on the show. So, Ricco, so what made you want to get into the wine industry?
I love when people ask me that question. Long story short, I was working a regular job, 9 to 5, that really wasn't providing. So I was just seeking new opportunities. And somewhere along the line, there was a gentleman by the name of Paul Carey who reached out to me and asked me to promote wines for him. And so during that time, I didn't know anything about wines. I think I may have sampled wines once before, but it was nothing to that magnitude. And he kind of just coached me through it. And eventually, the more I did wine shows, I had mentors. I had a lady by the name of Pam who was at one of the wine stores, and she really kind of took me under her wing and taught me the mannerisms and just kind of challenged me to be better. And so once I saw that this really had momentum and people responded positively to my wine tasting, to the wine shows, and I was pretty successful at it from the beginning, I just decided to just go full forward with it and try to really, really hone in on that talent.
Wow, that is amazing. And also, where are you from?
So, born and raised in Washington, D.C. Currently, I live in Prince George's County, Maryland, which is a suburb. So, I'm still, not too far from home.
Oh, that's good. So do you travel for your wine adventures? Do you travel out of state and host wine events?
Not yet. Still pretty local. The good thing about being in the DC area, we call it the DMV. So I have areas of Virginia I may travel to, areas of Maryland, and of course Washington DC. So I have a little bit of range, but nothing outside of that yet.
Wow, that is amazing. And then I wanted to talk about you said that you are actually in process of waiting on your results to be labeled a sommelier. For people that don't know what a sommelier, can you tell them what a sommelier is? Like what? Because some people are like, well, what's a sommelier, and do they make income? And is this a prosperous industry to get into? Like I get questions like that when I bring it up with people. Like, what can you tell people about it?
So sommelier is someone who basically studies, sells, and insures people with wine. The restaurants you'll go to, it's usually like a waiter who will just have the wine menu and will help you select the wine for your meal. And so they make this pretty good money depending on where you are and how much you're willing to put into the business. Almost like anything, if you don't really put the effort in to challenge yourself and to get better, you're not going to make as much as the people who really dedicate themselves. So where I am right now is a wine sales consultant, and like my slogan says, I help people select the perfect wine for every occasion. For me, sometimes it may be private buying, where I have customers, clients who just want me to purchase wines for them. Maybe coaching, maybe online teaching as well. So there's some great opportunities that I have.
Oh, y'all, you can't say there's no trade out there, people, because this is amazing. I actually may use his services because I am a wine connoisseur. I love red wine, and I like white wine. And also, I remember I was reading about something, or actually, I was probably talking to a sommelier, and she was telling me that sommeliers are also well versed in beer now as well. Like they're well versed in beer, and they learn about different vodkas and how many times it's distilled, and they learn about that too as well. Did you experience that with your training?
So here's the funny thing. I actually had to attend beer school and I passed, but I know nothing about beer. And I always joke with my friends, you give me a beer test right now, I'll fail it. What I did is literally just focus mainly strictly on wine. Occasionally I promote a bourbon, have a tasting with bourbon or whiskey. Occasionally, I think last week it was tequila, but I just mainly focus strictly on wine. I wanted just to be the best at wine. I read a lot, and one of the books I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read Think and Grow Rich, and I read Richest Man in Babylon. They always talk about specialized knowledge versus applied knowledge. Versus general knowledge. And so there are sommeliers who know various subjects, but I just decided to focus 100% on wine.
Good. Well, that's awesome because, if I ever become a sommelier, that's what I'll be focused on too, is that wine. So for people that are looking for, like, let's say wine pairings and stuff, like, are you considering writing a book or creating like a blog for people that can just easily look up and say, hey, this red wine will go well with this fish, or are you considering doing that too?
I mean, you just gave me the idea right now. I think I really enjoy the videos, making the videos for people. And again, just having clients who specifically want me to purchase wine or select the wines for them. I found that to be kind of marketable now. I tried to blog and I didn't get too much response from it. So I said, I'll go with what I know works.
Yes.
But, people can always just send me a message on either platform, Facebook or Instagram, and I don't charge for a conversation. So we can always have a conversation, and I'll ask you exactly what are you cooking or what do you plan to have, what's the occasion, and we can narrow things down to a great wine.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's really good. Because, a lot of people are visual anyway. So, even though blog is cool, but, your videos are visual. So people can, focus on it more, and so that's pretty cool. Now, what would you say are your favorite wines? Like, what's your go-to wine? Like, brands and, I guess, taste?
It always changes. The more I taste, the more I promote wines. It always changes. I'm always a big fan of red wines and sparkling wines. And I just, one of my mentors, Lady Pam, I talked to you about earlier, she just always told me to always be a student. And so for me, I'm always willing to try new wine. And for me, the challenge is, even if I don't like the wine, find something I like about it. Find a way I can utilize it. So you never see me on a video bashing wines or saying this wine is terrible, it's blah blah blah. I'm always on the find the smell, maybe I turn into a sangria. So to make a long story short, I gear more towards red wines sometimes, and then I gear more towards white wines, but I don't think I found a wine that I didn't like yet, because I always look for something.
Ooh, I like that. I feel like I'm the same way, I think every now and then I have wines I like more than others. I know a lot of people in my family are Moscato lovers. They just want some Moscato. They want something sweet. But the red wine to me has more depth in it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's different depending on what type of red wine. Like the new Snoop Dogg wine, I think it's called Cali something. Or Cal Red or something like that. Guys, don't beat me up because I forgot the name of the new Snoop Dogg wine, but I tried it and it's really good. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Because I'm trying to drink more red wine myself because it's healthier. I was told that red wine is actually healthier than the white wine.
Yeah, it's good for your heart. So the funny thing about the Snoop Dogg wine, the company that the producers, 19 Crimes, they're from Australia. So it's an Australian company that makes these wines. And
Oh.
One of the things that really stands out is that bottle, that black bottle design, which allows that wine to not age better, but it allows it to kind of store better. And it also they age their wines in rum barrels also. So that company. So anything you get from that company, you see that black bottle, the 19 Crimes is going to be pretty much received well if you have it.
Oh, that's good to know, because I was like, this is some fresh tasting wine. So yeah. I was definitely going to buy it more often. And what else was I going to ask you? Because I had another question. Now, what would you say, like, what are some tips you could provide someone that is considering either being a wine consultant or being a sommelier, like any motivational tips? And you already mentioned some great books, because I'm all about, mindset and having the right mindset before you do any type of career and stuff like that. What other tips can you give someone that may not know how to start, or maybe intimidated by the test or something, or test in general?
It's funny. I had this conversation with my cousin maybe a couple months ago. You have to read. You really have to be in the habit of reading. You could watch a few videos, a few taste videos, but you really have to go down and read and understand. You also have to. I'm just going to tell you for me. For me, you just kind of have to challenge yourself every year. How do you get better? Reading and it's one big way you have to. You have to make your own notes as well and go beyond what you may study in a course. Let's say you're in a class and you're studying Pinot Grigio. You have to go beyond what the professor or whatever your wine instructor says. You have to go deep into the notes and try to understand. And just your presentation as well. Maintain, professionalism, a sense of professionalism. Have respect for the business. Again, that's one of the reasons why you'll never see me put a video putting down a wine, because I respect the business. I respect the people that go out at 4 a.m. picking grapes, the people who pack them on the trucks, sometimes with port, certain areas in Portugal where they make their port wines, they can't drive them on the road, so they have to they'll ship them on boat. I respect the workers in South Africa making pinotage and making their Pinot and their Chardonnay. I respect the people who are out in the suns, and
wow.
I just have a respect for the business as a whole. So, for me, that's just the way I do it. And again, I was very blessed to have a mentor like Miss Pam, who's a mother figure, who taught me, hey, when you open a sparkling bottle, you need to have a white towel. When you come to a wine presentation, you can smell good, but the wine must smell better. So just teach me sort of inside things. I think I was very blessed to learn it the right way.
Yeah, that's good to have good mentors. So yeah, people, it's good to have good mentors, because it kind of helps you avoid certain things. You can be better. Presentation is everything in that industry. And so I totally agree on that. That's really good. And also I wanted to know, are you considering creating your own wine line, in the near future?
My wife and I talk about that a few. We mentioned that a few. I don't know right now. I don't know what the future holds, what God's going to have me doing.
Yeah.
I really want my own award system. So that's one of the reasons why I work so hard. I want my seal of approval on certain wines that are maybe run by minorities, maybe in a more affordable category price-wise. So I would just love to have my award be able to reward these people who've done great jobs with quality wines. And I guess eventually somewhere down the line, create a wine, but that's kind of where I see things.
Yeah, that's good. And just take your time, and then, you'll know when it's the right time to create your own brand and all that good stuff. Because we do need more minority owned liquor brands, rather it's wine or vodka. We definitely want to see more of it. So it's good that you're doing this, or eventually may own your own brand. And then, is there anything else that you want to tell anyone about what you have coming up, or any new events or shows?
So I have a few local shows in Bowie, Maryland. If anybody's listening, coming into the DMV area, the Washington D.C. area, in June, we're going to have at Bowie's Pool Resort. We're going to have adult swim night, and I will be hosting the wine bar there. There's a Caribbean festival in September coming in the DC area where I'll have my wines there. And I also, me being Black, I can't ignore that, but me being African American, I also speak to a lot of youth. So I'm not sure if I sent you the video we did in June of last year. It was called the Change the Narrative Initiative. And I just took myself and a lot of my colleagues, a lot of professional Black men from the DC area, and we just got together and spoke to youth and just really encouraged them and talked about, how we were able to get as successful and do the things that we did, the shortcuts that we didn't take, the trials, the errors, everything else. And so my wife and I, we've just been doing an initiative almost every month. Feeding the homeless to whatever. We've been just taking that initiative rather than just saying we've been taking initiative. So sorry to be long-winded, but
no, keep going. I want to know. This audiences want to know.
For Black History Month, we created a platform called the Change the Narrative Initiative, presents stories inspired by the motherland. So the original content for children, bedtime stories that, for our children, because... Oh,
yeah, I saw that. That was nice. I love it.
Yes, we have one more coming Juneteenth, another one, Nelson Mandela's birthday in the summer, and then we're going to do another one, all 7 days of Kwanzaa, then we're going to work on the book. So...
Wow, that's amazing.
All original content.
Where they can find it, your the short story, the YouTube, which YouTube channel they can look for that?
Yeah, just come on the YouTube channel, Change the Narrative Initiative. And
good.
The first story we have Queen of the Land, and a month from, like I said, Juneteenth, we're going with our second story, and we're going to have the next story, Nelson Mandela's birthday, and then we're going to all have all 7, and then we're going to work on the book for children's stories. And one of the reasons we did it was because our children have Frozen, Moana, other stories, and then we have, if not, then we have the Black version of whatnot, but we don't have anything that really can connect our children of yet. There are other authors out here doing it, which I'm really proud of, but we really don't have anything that's a household name for our children to be able to connect besides Black Panther.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one. We definitely need more Black stories being told. And the story that I heard you and your wife were reading on YouTube, it was amazing. Just, it's also some history in there that young Black kids need to hear about that we don't learn in school. I didn't learn in school. So I think that's awesome what you're doing. And then also I wanted to know, when you go and mentor these young Black men, do they ever say, hey, I want to get into the wine industry? Do you inspire them to want to get into the industry? What are their thoughts on it?
No, so the funny thing is maybe few of them know that. Maybe few of them. Most of them, they just know me from working around the schools in the area and just being a role model. So my day job, I work in the school system. And so one of my things I've been trying to do purposely for the past 3 years, when I'm speaking with youth, I always have a book with me. And so a lot of young men have been in trouble before. Rather than going through the actual steps, I'll have them read a page from the 48 Laws of Power. And they'll just know me. What book you reading today, Mr. Cooper? What do you have now? And so just being able to show that example, and they say, man, you always working on something. You always working. And a few of them who've graduated have seen or have even found me online and said, man, how did you get into wine? And, I'm proud of you. You stick by what you've been telling me. And that's encouraging me to keep further. So. Oh,
that's amazing.
But I try to keep them separate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Because they say if you want to hide something from a Black man, put it in a book, I think Michael X said that. So you want to, so we do need to read more. Come on, a lot of us do need to read more. And I'm always an advocate of that. That's why I do book reviews on the podcast. Because I want people to really get into reading. It's very, it's just, you learn so much when you're just reading the book. It's so interesting. And then you don't even know, subconsciously, you pick up tips from the book. You pick up vocabulary. It's very interesting.
And
then,
especially if you're a Black entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of mistakes that we make as Black entrepreneurs, if you would just take the time to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, again, I'm not getting paid for this, but if you just took the time to read that, to read Richest Man of Babylon, to read Good to Great, to read, any of these books, Soar, if you just took the time to read these books, a lot of the issues that you have, you'll identify. It tells you how to not have those issues that you'll end up having.
Yep.
Rich Dad Poor Dad being one. It's a lot of those books. You Were Born Rich.
Yep.
And just, if you take the time to read it before you start your business, it will save you a lot of headache, a lot of time, and a lot of money.
Yeah. Because I bumped my head a few times being a serial entrepreneur in my early 20s. I bumped my head, and I had to get better at understanding and taking in what I'm reading. And, now I'm better, stronger now. And I think a lot of people need to adhere to this now, while they're, especially the young community, it's like about the 18, 19. I'm like, y'all better get on it, so you can avoid those pitfalls, or at least make them smaller. And also I was going to say, just for people listening, because some people might be like, well, I can't be a wine consultant because I need an LLC or I need this or that. Do you have an LLC or sole? Okay.
You don't need that yet. You just need to actually have the mindset to learn, and you just need to, just that asset to learn, to be able to have a few mentors, and to really have the patience to go through with it, to really understand delayed gratification. That's what you need. You have those, you're fine. I think we live in the age is everything is there. Everybody wants it right now, want to show it all.
Oh man.
What like you're doing, but it doesn't happen like that. You have to go, like you said, bump your head. You have to have the right mentors.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go through, sometimes you have to choose new mentors and just break away from old mentors.
Ooh, that part. Said a word.
Yeah.
Because you can outgrow a mentor. And I think that
definitely.
People don't get that. Yeah, you can outgrow them, but don't feel like you're outgrowing them because you want to keep them around because they always been there. But yeah, you can outgrow a mentor, and you're like, you know what, that was good for that time. But some people are in your life for seasons and certain reasons, and it's time to always branch out and meet different people and stuff. So, that's definitely a word that you just said. I was like, yes. And then I was going to ask you, did you see the movie Uncorked on, I think it's on Netflix. It was a young African-American man, and he was trying to become a sommelier, and he just kept failing the test, no matter how hard he kept trying. And I thought that was a really interesting story about how, even though he ended up not being, or still kept trying to be a sommelier towards the end, I just think that it showed perseverance, that delayed gratification, that it just takes time, but doesn't mean you give up because you failed the test a few times,
Exactly.
And I'm happy they did that movie, because that shed some light on that industry, especially in our community. Because when he went to that prestigious program, that school, he was like the only Black guy there. There wasn't a lot of African Americans involved in it, so it was a really good movie to show that industry and get it out there. So yeah. But
there are a few actually, few that I actually follow, and I try to, every time I see they make a new achievement, I try to congratulate them. There are a few. Charles Springfield out in New York. There are a couple. The McBride sisters out in California.
Yes, I know about the McBride sisters. That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, just always being able to celebrate, when other people are doing things great.
Yes.
Because we're a small community, and so we need to encourage one another and be proud of one another, whatever steps we take. We don't have to compete against one another, and you run your race and you stay focused. Yeah. And you know who you are, God, and you're fine.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you have God in your pocket and confidence, you have to. Like, you have to, and have the right mindset, and I think that, and a lot of people, you're right with the competition thing. A lot of people feel like they have to compete. And I think once you give up the competition aspect, you start to have fun, enjoy not only the industry you're in, but life. Everything just comes smoother and flows better in every aspect of your life. So Yeah, that was a word. Now, I'm going to start something new because I just realized during like a few weeks of me just revamping the show, I want to start asking people, what is your favorite quote that you go by every day? Just to end up in the show, what's your favorite quote you go by?
So my favorite quote is, if you don't lead, you don't read. And this is why.
Mm-hmm.
So my first name is Ricco, and growing up, people would say Richard, Ricardo. No, it's Ricco. And then, of course, I was told younger as a child, your name is Spanish. Ricco means fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It means not fruit. It means sweet. It means delicious, like a dessert, rich. However, my name is spelled with 2 C's, which makes it Italian. So my name actually means strong leader in Italian.
Wow.
Yeah. And, had I not read that and understood that, again, it wouldn't have it resonated with me later in life, but it just gave me a new sense of confidence. Like, wow, God, this is who I am. I'm strong. Now I have that confidence to actually go out and accomplish some things, because my name doesn't mean dessert anymore. It means leader. It means Shaka Zulu. It means Nelson Mandela. It means Shirley Chisholm. It means Marcus Garvey.
All right now.
Yeah.
Yes, because once you get into the kingdom of yourself and know you're a king or queen, I think that things come to you. The confidence is everything. And like, what you just said, I spent 10 years, missing on opportunities because of lack of confidence. And now that it's there, everything comes to me naturally. Right. And I think that's what it is. That's what's going on for you. I can hear the confidence in your voice. I can hear like the authenticity. I mean, like that's very rare. So I would say just keep that up and keep spreading that message and helping young people and mentoring them, because a lot of times young kids aren't taught that growing up to have that confidence, whereas they can start at a young age, they can already be there at 18, you know what I mean? So we got to keep spreading this message and keep doing that with what we believe in and, teaching.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I appreciate you coming on here and taking your time out to be on the Blue Alchemist podcast. As we grow, eventually we're going to do some videos whereas we can have Ricco show us, some wines and talk to us and stuff. Eventually we can get there, but most of my shows are primarily just, podcasts, but that's something that I wouldn't mind doing later on down the line, is doing some wine tastings on StreamYard and be live so people can interact and ask questions. So before I end this, can you tell people where they can reach you at? They might want to book you for a consultation. They may want to, where can they hit you up at?
Wow. Thank you for this. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. My Facebook is, I'm still on Facebook. It's Ricco, Ricco, T as in Tom, Cooper. And that's my whole name on Facebook, Ricco T. Cooper. You can also find me on Instagram at Ricco's Wine Adventure, all one word. You can also find me on LinkedIn. And my email is Ricco, Ricco, Terrell, 2342 at Gmail. So you can find me on those various platforms and just send me a message, a direct message, whatever you call it. Send me an email or just call me or text me. And, the conversation does not cost. And again, I'm here to help you find the perfect wine for every occasion.
All right, now you heard it. So we had another great show today. Everybody stay tuned, subscribe, check your grow out from sequoiablue.com. For your latest news, go to newsverific.com. And please follow Ricco, support him and his vision. And from my last words is stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, okay? So everybody, thanks for tuning in today, and peace.